Hello friends, Nick here at
Studio.
Today we're going to be checking out how to make a synthwave / retro style track. And we're going to use nothing but stuff that comes in Studio One. So let's close this stuff up and let's get started and break some things down. Let's break these sounds down and let's see how it's done. So I'm using maybe like one thing that's not a stock Studio One thing, but I got it for free on my PreSonus account, so I figured what the hell, and we'll cover that when we get to it. So let's start off with some arpeggios. So that's this track here, and if you look at the MIDI, it is pretty simple, just going between two chords, but we got an arpeggio going, and it's playing single notes. And how we're doing that is by using an arpeggiator on the note effects for this MIDI track. So if you hit F4 on your keyboard, you'll open up this inspector window, which is super handy, and then we have access to the note effects for the track that we want to add some arpeggios to. So we go here, click the little plus, add arpeggiator, and then we can configure our arpeggiator to how we like. So this is how I have it set up, pretty basic, just play up mode, playing 16th notes and just running through the chord progression, or the chords, and it's just two chords going from F7 to A7. And there's not much in terms of processing, just a little bit of movement, some EQ, nothing crazy. And that just goes out through the whole song basically. That's super simple, nothing crazy. For the actual sound, we're using Mai Tai and the strings downtown funk setting here. That's the preset we're using. Let's listen to it by itself. So that's no effects, is affected, kind of a little bit of more lo-fi, a little bit more movement. Cool. And the next thing we have is the pad. It's got to be spacey, it's got to sound interesting. So we're using Mai Tai again, and we're using strings, analog machine strings, warm PWM preset. Sounds pretty good, and there's not much going on with this either, just a little bit of EQ, automation on the intro, and we're just playing the same chords that are being arpeggiated. So those two sounds make up our intro, and we got some bit crushing going on that is getting automated. So that's this line here, it's automating the mix on the bit crusher that's on the main bus. So let me show you that. So we have the bit crusher here, and as the intro plays, the mix goes down and the distortion reduces towards the verse. Simple little trick, adds a little bit of lo-fi vibe, and I dig it. So this is the two sounds together, and as we build up into the verse, we have a couple tom hits come in, and I actually pulled these tom hits, and these are just some 909 samples that I pulled in. The actual drums are done with the Outrun kit for the impact preset. So if we open this up, so we're using the Outrun preset, and it sounds pretty cool. And we're doing a little bit of processing. We're using the fat channel on the kick and snare just to kind of shape the sound a little bit more. We got some stuff going on with the hi-hat as well, and then we got some reverb as well, this gated verb, and we're using mix verb, and I think it sounded pretty decent. Gives it that cool 80s gated snare reverb sound. Sounds really cool. We got the toms going to this as well, and just blend it into sound pretty good. And then on the main drums, we have some compression and some more reverb going on. Not too much reverb, just to kind of add some more vibe and 80s flavor, which sounds pretty cool. So that's the drums basically, nothing crazy. And And the kick drum MIDI, it's pretty simple. Just lots of repeating hi-hats, crash at the beginning, and just going back and forth between the kick and the snare. For the bass, our MIDI is pretty simple here. Just a lot of repeating notes, just following the root note of the chord that we're on. So we're on A right now, so we got some flavor notes being thrown in here. And right before the change on like the last bar, we got a little bit of flavor happening. And with the bass, we are using my tie here again. 80s up down preset. Sounds pretty cool. Let's listen to it without anything. I like a lot of grit and dirt on my stuff, so you know, this is what it sounds like after. But this isn't actually the complete sound because we need to engage this, and you can hear it's adding some sidechain movement to the bass. And we're using this Klanghelm SDRR plugin as well here, which kind of really adds some cool grit to the bass. And I got this free with my PreSonus account, so that's why I'm using it. I figured it would count, so why not? And let's listen, turn off the compression here, a lot less movement. We turn that on, we got our sidechain happening, and our sidechain, this is our sidechain sound here. And if we change this around, it'll kind of change how the bass will move around, which is kind of a cool and fun trick that you can employ. And then finally, we have our lead. So we have hammer lead. I really like using this hammer lead preset. I find myself usually gravitating towards that. And it's pretty simple. It's a nice, clean, simple sound. Very 80s vibe to it. But then we can really have some fun with reshaping it. So it kind of sounds a little bit more like a guitar now, which I thought was pretty cool, and I went with this sound. So let's check out actually the signal chain for hammer lead here. So you can see we're using a splitter here, doing some parallel processing, and you know, bit crusher, flanger, groove delay, some EQ, EQ here. We're cutting out some of the lows, adding some like 3K to kind of bring that a little more in your face and make it more prominent. And then we have a secondary lead come in here towards the second half of this section here. Kind of adds a little bit more size and grit to the lead there. Thought it was pretty cool. We're using presence here, cone lead. So yeah, all these are mostly preset sounds that we started with and kind of just tailored them and changed them around. So then we have this weird analog delay and auto filter thing going on here that comes in and out. Coming in now. I forget what I'm even sending here. Oh yeah, here we go. So this main arpeggiator thing we're sending to the weird bus. And it's kind of buried in the background there. It comes in and out. So that's basically it, and we have some stuff going on the master bus here. We have a 2 bus, we have another bus here. So we have our kick going to one bus, we have all the other instruments going to another bus, which this bus has a compressor on it, and we're sending the kick to this compressor as a side chain and ducking the signal just a little bit every time the kick hits, so the transient on the kick is a little bit more prominent. So if you watch, see, every time the kick hits, you can see it ducks. So, and then that's going to the 2 bus here, and we're doing a little bit of mix verb, very light reverb, just to kind of glue things together instead of using compression. And then a little bit of bit crusher here, which is mostly just for the intro and the outro. This is the automation for the bit crusher here. And then going into the main bus, we just have the fat channel, which uses this basically for mastering. And without it, this is what it sounds like. With it, kind of a lot more 80s flavor. Started with the vintage style preset here, tweaked it a tiny bit. You see a lot of high mid frequency boost, big cut to the low frequencies, big cut to the high frequencies. So cool, lo-fi kind of vintagey sound, I'd say. So let's listen to the whole track in its entirety. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe. If you have any comments, criticism, any kind of feedback, I would totally appreciate it. So leave a comment below if you do. Once again, please subscribe, please like. That would be really awesome. Getting close to 200 subs, which is cool. Not too long ago, I was at like 50 or 60, so it's pretty awesome to see people subscribing and enjoying some of the content that I'm putting out. And I would definitely like to do more of this kind of stuff. And if you have any suggestions on how to improve, I would definitely like that. I haven't done this kind of video before, so it's definitely new ground. Hopefully you got some cool ideas and you can employ them in your own tracks. If you do, please comment with a link to where I could listen to a track that you've done with some of the ideas that you learned from here. If you did, that'd be really awesome. Until next time, I will see you soon. I hope you have a pleasant day.